ourselves a round of applause. I'm sure we can do much better than that. I'm sure if the head of state walked into this place, we would all stand up and give him a resounding round of applause. But the problem, or should I say the truth is, each and every one of us in this studio, listening wherever you are, is as good as a head of state. So I think you deserve a round of applause for yourselves. At this point, we would like to welcome onto the couch, in no particular order. We'd like to call on Ataafo Josh from Channels Television, who will be in charge of the first discussion. A round of applause for Ataafo Josh. Also like to call on stage Ohimai Ataafo to please join us on stage as well. I want to believe everybody has had breakfast. So please do not mince your applause. Share it generously with us. Also would like to call on Olakunle Shuriyan to also join us on stage. And last but not the least, Yemi Adamolekun to also join us on stage. At this point, we'll take our leave, and of course, do not forget to join the conversation on our social media. Just follow us, that's @GenVoices. And in addition to that, please, any questions you do have, please just jot it down somewhere, and we'll give you that chance to participate.
Thank you very much.
Could you guys please take your seat, of course? And they will be speaking one after the other, but I'd like to call on Ataafo Josh to take over. Thank you very much.
Okay. Before I take my seat, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. There's never been a better time in history to have this conversation and not just talk about these things that we're so passionate about, but also mobilize ourselves towards the changes that we so desire. I'm very honored to be here, and I'm going to be taking my seat right now.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to introduce our first speaker for this morning. Mentioned him briefly in the introduction. He goes by the name Ohimai Ataafo, the creative director and head of My Ataafo Inspired. Ladies and gentlemen, please do give him a round of applause as he comes to speak on passion, fame, and success.
Good morning, everyone. Those of us here in the studio and those of us watching us live, wherever we are. I won't take our time. I'll go straight into this. We are a generation of young Nigerians that are driven a lot by passion, and a lot of us in the creative, which is kind of restricted to, are carried away with our passion and what we do. Now, I want to shed light on a few things. I think that it's important to know that people always say, you know, when you're passionate about something, you should go for it. But I'm always here to advise people that, you know, passion is not just enough. Okay? Passion is not enough. Because the truth about it is that if you're passionate about it, that means you're having fun with it. But it's very important for you to be able to add something like talent to it. Now, when you're passionate and you're talented in what you're passionate about, it means you're driven and you have skill. But even at that, when you look at the society we are in, where the harsh reality of Nigeria hits you, be it your bad roads, be it water, be it light, be you trying to get by every day, be it transportation, you need a certain level of financial success to be able to climb that ladder. Now, if I'm passionate and I'm talented, but I feel all these things hitting me every day, there's a difficulty in me trying to rise up every morning to do what I'm happy to do. So when people tell you you're passionate and you can go ahead and do it, it's not just about your passion. There's other things that also contribute to that. So now we've talked about just being passionate, and also key for you to be talented in that area you're passionate about. Yes, you can sing, but really, how well can you sing? What have you learned about singing? Okay, it's important that you're also a master in what you're passionate about. If it's about football, what have you done apart from just playing football in the corner? Have you stepped yourself up? The very important thing here that I want to stress is that you should always be able to take criticism. You should always be. I know Nigeria, sometimes we don't even give it at all. We rub your back, we celebrate mediocrity, and sometimes we thrive on that. Now, the last part which I want to stress on when it comes to passion is that passion, talent, and commercial success or commercial sense, I think, is a total ball. When you have just three things locked down, you are a wealthy, driven, skilled individual. And I think that when you are like that, that's when they say, when you find out what you love and you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life. I like that saying. But the truth is that when you're doing what you love and you're broke at doing it, trust me, you will work every day of your life because there's no benefit to it. Now, moving away from passion, another key thing that we find in our environment here is that as you do something in the creative industry, you be a singer, a designer, whatever it is you're doing, especially in the creatives, you find that fame comes really easy. You are celebrated. You are famous. Now, what are you celebrated for? Now, we're in a country whereby we celebrate mediocrity. We happily pay for fame over talent. And most of the time, the vehicle that helps us actually preach the gospel of fame and success of a subject matter do not even have the experience in that subject matter. I myself, as a designer, I've done things in the past, and I keep hearing this question like, what is your inspiration? Not from my collection, but what is my inspiration generally? The first question they ask you is, please, may we meet you? And you're supposed to actually know about me and ask me very important questions. So the people that actually panel that, and moreover, if you're new and you're fresh, you will get your time in the limelight. Somebody will celebrate you for whatever reason at all it is. So it's very key that we take that, because I think the real fame in life is when you get back home and the realities of life hit you. Be it no power supply, be it no water, be it bad, whatever it is, and you are still comfortable. That's the real fame. The real fame is not the newspaper appearances or the radio talks or the television appearances. The real fame, when you're back at home and you can get by. I think that's the real fame. Then we dive straight into success. Now, success can be broken down into different areas based on what you do. You can have success because you're doing what you're doing it well, and people are actually acknowledging it. But I like to celebrate financial success in a country like Nigeria, and I'll stress that even harder. Because people find out when people are very well today, they're doing stuff, they're making a lot of money or not making money at all, but you are celebrated, you are everywhere. And there's this perception, once you are on TV or you're in the magazine, you are made. Your family members call you and tell you that, please, I need handouts because I saw you in the newspaper. But it doesn't mean that you're wealthy. It doesn't mean you're well off. So the key thing is that that's not going to change. If that's not going to change, then you have to be able to capitalize and move further, just being successful in what you do to be financially successful. It's very, very important in a country like Nigeria. It is fundamental. Now, once you have achieved that from what you're doing, then you realize that no matter how well you sing, you still have to be a businessman. No matter how well you design, you have to be a businessman. No matter how well you draw, you have to be a businessman. Now, I'm kind of like focusing on the creatives because the guys that actually do commercial, that go into business for business reasons, are very successful at that. And they're not the ones that get celebrated. So we have young men in Nigeria that are between the ages of 25 and 35, they're multi-millionaires, but you don't see them on the pages of newspaper, or you don't see them on television. You don't hear them on radio, but they are core businessmen. I urge all of us to take a note from these people and be like them. If you are in the creative industry, I don't want you to be celebrated on the cover of Vogue, GQ, Complete Fashion, Genevieve Magazine alone. I want you to be celebrated on the cover of Forbes. My dream is not to be a successful fashion entrepreneur. My dream is to be a successful, my dream is not to be a successful fashion designer. My dream is to be a successful fashion entrepreneur. I want to be known as the Dangote